Hey guys, it's your boy, Roy Lee, and it's the moment I've been waiting for the entirety of my YouTube career. I'm going to talk about Hanzo. I've made Hanzo since I started playing the game back during the first summer games. And if you look at my career profile, it doesn't represent that. I have changed my name way too many times. Hanzo didn't get a skin until the 1 year anniversary of the game, and Scatter was removed about a year and a half later. The first one-shot ability Hanzo lost trying to make him less of a luck hero, introducing the new ability Storm Arrow, which is arguably more reliant on luck. He's gotten his arrow draw time decreased, so he fires shots at a wicked fast speed, and his arrow projectile speed got quicker and slower. And then I guess we'll find out where that goes in the future. What I'm trying to get here is that Hanzo is a very different character than he was, but is still treated the same scapegoat he once was at the very beginning of the game. Let's start there. And we're gonna forget who Hanzo is, and we're just gonna focus at his gameplay and the fantasy that is supposed to be expressed within that gameplay. A bow and arrow. A fucking bow and arrow. If you're anything like me, I love a good old-fashioned medieval weapon being used in the future. It just screams skill, and I'm better than you. Everyone needs all this fancy tech, and then you're just sitting there looking like you got reverse isekai. This thing is supposed to be an equally deadly weapon to Widow sniper rifle, because Hanzo's a sniper, right? Like far away, insane off angles. Everyone who is allowed to one-shot at range, he has to stop doing damage for a moment in order to charge up to that damage needed, right?
I don't know what to tell you.
A bow. A bow that you pull back on slowly to increase the amount of damage the arrow will do, ultimately doing enough to one-shot a normal character if it is a well-placed shot. Does that sound awful to play against? I don't think so. The one aspect we need to hone in on is the changes to his draw speed. Hanzo's draw time has only ever been buffed, decreased, in Overwatch's lifetime, effectively making him spammier with his lack of need to reload. He's only gotten better at his ability to hold the sideline and make a permanent line of death if walked into. Oh yeah, that's right. It's a projectile flying through the air. As the speed of his shots went up, his arrows slowed down, making them in the air for a longer time and giving enemies more probability into accidentally strolling into that log of death. Now, I'll always make the argument that if Hanzo is aiming down a choke at headshot level, that the people who walk into that are at fault. There are plenty of ways to manipulate the position of your head, hurt box, and abilities that can help you avoid this completely. Nevertheless, it does happen where you walk into an arrow and die. You watch the kill cam and you scream, "He didn't mean to do that. That was complete luck. No skill. Fuck that guy." It doesn't take a genius to understand that if the enemy has a certain character, that character will play to its strengths. You should be looking for these Hanzos. You should be knowing these sight lines where they could spam down, so you don't walk through that. It's not like he's the only character that can get a whoopsie-daisy kill. All projectile heroes do this, plus characters with projectile-like abilities. These can always find accidental value, and the character isn't even attributed that strength and doesn't get punished for it. It's a frustrating hypocrisy, because I know it's because Hanzo can kill with an accidental shot. Like, I get it. But what do we do to fix this? We want to keep Hanzo a one-shotting ability character, but we don't want him shooting down the hallway constantly getting accidental shots. Well, let's make it so he doesn't shoot as much. Psych! Let's increase everyone's health and functionally eliminate all one-shots. This does wonders for the game, universally. A lot of frustrating things like Junkrat combo or spamming Kiriko get severely nerfed. Everybody gets to see their character buff in an easy and digestible manner, rather than having to see their character reworked, or nerfed, or changed in a way they didn't want to play them. In the end, though, it only increases TTK, while making killing frustrating and death easier to swallow. You've kind of ruined the skill expression of your game. Another idea is just to nerf the fire rate of most weapons, and maybe a little bit of the healing. Hanzo with a draw time of 1.5 seconds. 125 to the body, 250 to the head. Characters with armor still live with a headshot, so if you can outskill me, you can go to the statistical better character. And Hanzo can't spam nearly as much down a hallway. If you can't get past a choke in a second and a half, you're playing the wrong game. Go play Fortnite and build yourself a wall. The bow still feels strong and rewards patience and accuracy for the people who play Hanzo for that reason. The feeling that Hanzo evokes to me is, don't miss. If you do, you die. It's the game on clutch mode all the time. Every shot feels important, and when you get 3 headshots in a row, it would feel like you did it on purpose rather than just lobbed a redwood at the enemy team. Next, let's look at Storm Arrow. Now, the purpose of this ability was to make Hanzo more consistent, because guess what? Shooting more means more damage. More damage means you're helping the team more, right? All Storm Arrow did was reward by spamming down chokes more and letting you just aim in a general area of somebody and get a kill. Exactly what people hate about Hanzo. It's pretty good for shields, but why is a sniper shooting shields? That's not how we want people to play the game. We don't want to reward or make an ability for something we don't want the character to be doing. It's the spam we want to look at. So how do we reduce spam? The whole point of Storm Arrow is to get rid of draw time. So we can't increase that any faster. Let's decrease how many arrows it has. How about 2 arrows? 2 arrows that do 75 body shot damage, 150 headshot damage. Only 2 shots. You see when a Hanzo uses Storm Arrow, you would know right then and there from the sound and visual cue that he has 2 arrows propped up ready for you. Start dodging. Dodge! If you know a Hanzo is there, you would make it 4 times harder for him to hit the shot. While Hanzo still gets a quote-unquote escape damage ability, this would reward the Hanzo for good aim, and then it'll also reward the Tracer with good movement. If you set the cooldown to something like 12 seconds, it will allow for punishable moments in the game that allows characters to capitalize on you. You know, dive, remember dive, good times. This change would require skill on both ends, allowing for players to express their skill in such a small interaction, which is what we want the game to be doing. We don't really need to talk about Sonic Arrow. It's the most amazing ability in the game. It's perfectly balanced. Let it be, please. Now the dodge ability is kind of fucked. Fuck this ability. It's one of 2 abilities that require you to be in the air to use, and the only character ability where there is a prerequisite to using your escape. You're telling me I have to do a 2-step verification to jump away? Then all I get is 7.85 meters of movement while Kiriko can just teleport with 1 button? The only time this ability is good is when you pair it with wall climb. If you max distance double jump to a wall and wall climb it, by the time you reach the apex of your climb and begin to fall, your jump will be, or almost be, back. So you can jump again. You'll have to land. So you can wall climb again though. Wah wah. All in all, I think most people attack the headshot as being the most frustrating thing about Hanzo, when in reality, I believe it to be the fact that you can spam endlessly. Maybe Hanzo needs a quiver with 8 arrows in it that reloads. Who knows? But I do know getting rid of the headshot is almost killing the character. There's probably another way to make the character fun and dynamic and rewarding, but it just wouldn't be Hanzo anymore. Hanzo is a character of high skill and higher consequence. Flicking and predicting shots is the most satisfying thing I've ever experienced in my life, and having the character play any other way wouldn't be the same demanding skill challenge with the same amount of payoff when you pull off a successful play. I'm begging you, don't take away the 1 shot. Peace.